Hi, thank you all for allowing me to join you today and tell the story about participating in a clinical trial as a canine parent. I'm going to talk about our dog, why I decided to participate in the trial, and what our experience was like. So first of all, a little bit about Cash. Cash was a retired racing greyhound. His racing name was CG's Mr. Cash, and he ran in 74 races, finishing in the top 3 in 50% of those. He was a healthy and strong dog when he was diagnosed with osteosarcoma, and as you can see from his photos, he was a goofball. The timeline for Cash's story with osteosarcoma is that he started limping in early September of 2016. The preliminary diagnosis came back from an X-ray, and we presented him as a candidate for the National Cancer Institute and Morris Animal Foundation COTC-22 clinical trial in late September. He was presented at the University of Missouri-Columbia, which we affectionately call Mizzou here in Missouri. The diagnosis of osteosarcoma in the left distal radius was confirmed on that day, and his leg was amputated the next day. 3 days later, Cash came home for recovery, and he was selected to participate in the standard of care arm of that clinical trial. So in addition to the amputation, he received 4 doses of carboplatin chemotherapy and then had to go back every 8 weeks for checkups. So the O word, I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about osteosarcoma because I know you are familiar with it, but just like in humans, in canines, it is just as bad. It's painful and aggressive, and even with amputation and chemotherapy, the average lifespan is only about 12 months. So why did we say yes? Well, first of all, we wanted to eliminate the pain. And originally we had said no, but the trick with saying no is trying to figure out when to say goodbye before the leg breaks. So by saying yes, we were able to remove the pain from Cash. And then when we learned that childhood osteosarcoma is very similar to canine osteosarcoma, and that this clinical trial would be looking for additional medicines to extend life, we felt like that was the bonus reason to get Cash involved. My husband and I are both supporters of science, and we had the capability and the flexibility to be able to participate in the trial. So what do I mean by the capability and flexibility? Well, the clinical trial experience can be burdensome. It was not burdensome for us because we had the flexibility to be able to participate. We had supportive employers, we were able to work from home, we were able to have a flexible schedule, and we were able to do the travel. So that's something that's very important to consider because there are specific protocols that must be followed. And if you then you risk putting the trial in jeopardy. Our experience at Mizzou was wonderful. We had great patient and parent care there, and really everybody there became like friends to us. The doctors we became very close to, and mostly we were in awe at just how much of a difference that our dog could make to the science of curing this horrible cancer. So in the end, it turns out that Cash was one of Mizzou's longest survivors. He was in remission for nearly 3 years, and he touched many lives while he was alive. And I'd like to think that he's still touching people's lives today with the science that was built in that clinical trial. So as a canine mom who has lost a dog to cancer, and as a person who lives with a chronic form of cancer, I can really say this with all sincerity. Let's crush cancer at both ends of the leash. Thank you so much for giving me the time to speak today.